What's up everyone, welcome back. Patrick here. In this video we're going to practice some function notation. So given that f of x equals 7 minus 4x minus x squared, we got to find all of these expressions over here. So there's 7 of them. Let's go through them one by one. So starting with f of m, all we would do is we would take this m value, plug it in for all the x values. What we're doing is basically taking whatever's in these brackets, plugging them for all the x values. So f of m, if we plug in m for x, it's just simply going to be 7 minus 4m minus m squared. And then there's no simplifying that. There's no like terms we could simplify. Right, so number 1, pretty easy. That's the answer. Number 2, f of negative m. We'd plug in negative m for all the x values. So we'd do 7 minus 4 in brackets negative m minus negative m squared. So instead of plugging positive m, we plugged in negative m for all the x values and put them in brackets. So then simplifying this, we would have 7, negative 4 times negative m gives us positive 4m. And then we'd have minus negative m squared is just m squared, positive m squared. Negative m to the power of any even exponent would end up just being m to the power of an even to that even exponent. So whether this was a 2, 4, 6, because what would happen is if you distribute this, this exponent inside the bracket, we'd have negative 1 to the power of an even number and then m to the power of an even number. There's like a negative 1 in front there. And negative 1 to an even number is always going to be a positive 1. But if this was odd, negative 1 to the power of an odd number would always stay as negative 1. Okay, so yeah, that ends up being the answer for number 2. So we got 7 plus 4m minus m squared. And then number 3, we have 5 f of m. And what this basically means is we're taking f of m, which we already have up here, that expression, and we're taking that whole expression and just multiplying it by 5. So really for this, what we can do is we could just take 5 and multiply it by this entire expression. We got to put that entire expression in brackets. And so expanding this, we would end up having 35 minus 20m minus 4m squared. Sorry, 5m squared. My bad. Yeah. Right, so it just took this 5 and distributed in the brackets. So that ends up being the answer for number 3. And then we got f of 5m. So we'd plug in 5m for all the x values. So we'd have 7 minus 4 times 5m minus 5m squared. So simplifying this, we'd have 7 minus 20m. Here, negative 4 times 5m is negative 20m. Minus, what's 5m squared going to be? Well, if we do this on the side, remember we could distribute that exponent to the 5 and then to the m. And then this would end up being 25m squared. So remember your exponent rules. If you have two things that are multiplying in an exponent, so two things multiplying to the power of x inside a bracket, then you could take all those things to the power of that exponent. It's almost like quote-unquote distributing that exponent inside the bracket. But it doesn't work if you're adding. So if we add a plus b to the power of x, that does not equal a to the power of x plus b to the power of x. It's got to be multiplying or dividing. All right, so just a little review of some fundamental exponent rules. So this would end up being minus 25m squared, like that. Right, so let's write this up here. So we'll have 7 minus 20m minus 25m squared. And then we'll have f of m plus 3. We would take m plus 3, plug it in for all the x values. So we'd have 7 minus 4 times m plus 3 minus m plus 3 squared. So this is going to be more algebra, more simplifying. So we'd have 7 minus this negative 4 distributed inside the bracket. And then we'd have minus, and what we want to do here is take that m plus 3 and m plus 3 squared and FOIL it. So we'll have m plus 3 times m plus 3. And we're subtracting whatever that answer is going to be. So after we FOIL it, after we simplify all of the like terms, we'd end up with m squared plus 6m plus 9. So this would be m squared plus 6m plus 9. We're subtracting that whole thing there. So now what we got to do, we got to distribute that negative inside the bracket. So we'd have 7 minus 4m minus 12 minus m squared minus 6m and then minus 9. And then you just collect like terms here. So negative m squared. There's no like terms. Notice this negative 4m minus 6m, that would be minus 10m. And then we have 7, negative 12, negative 9. So 7 minus 12 is negative 5, minus 9 gives us negative 14. Like that. So that there is the final answer for number 5. Moving on to number 6, we got f of m minus 1, but then it's squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to find what f of m minus 1 is. Just plugging in m minus 1 for all the x values. Minus m minus 1 squared. So very similar to number 5, we would do 7 minus 4m plus 4. After distributing this negative 4, then we'd have minus m minus 1 squared. M minus 1 times m minus 1, after you FOIL all that out, you'd end up getting m squared minus 2m plus 1. And we're subtracting that whole thing there. So we've got to distribute this negative inside the bracket. You know what? Let's simplify. 7 plus 4 is 11. And then we'd have minus m squared plus 2m minus 1. Yeah. And then we'll have negative m squared. Negative 4m plus 2m is negative 2m. Or negative 4m, yeah, negative 4m plus 2m is negative 2m. And then 11 minus 1 is 10. Yeah, it's all good here. So that ends up being f of m minus 1. But then we have to square that. So basically we'll have negative m squared minus 2m plus 10. That's what f of m minus 1 is. And then we're squaring that. Right? So even more algebra. So this one's going to be a bit of a pain because we got 3 terms inside this bracket. So there's going to be a lot of foiling. Yeah, we got to do it this way. So this, that. Negative m squared times negative m squared is m to the power 4 plus 2m to the power 3 minus 10m squared. Then we'll have negative 2m multiplied by all of these. So we'll have negative 2m times negative m squared. That would give us positive 2m to the 3. Be careful with your algebra here. Plus 4m squared minus 20m. And then we got to take this 10 and multiply it by all these. So we'd have negative 10m squared minus 20m plus 100. And I think everything is all good here. Looks all good. Yeah. So now we got to simplify these. Got to collect all the like terms. Notice m to the 4, there's no like term for that. So that's good. Then notice we have 2m cubed, no other cube there, so that would be 4m cubed. Yeah, so that's gone. Then we have negative 10m squared plus 4m squared minus 10m squared. So that would be negative 20 plus 4, so negative 16m squared. Those are gone. Negative 20 minus 20, negative 20m minus 20m, that's negative 40m. And then plus 100. And you can't simplify that any further. So that there ends up being your final answer for number 6. And then finally, number 7, we got f of m plus h. So notice there's no numbers here. It's just a variable. So we'll have 7 minus 4 times m plus h minus m plus h squared. So here we'll have 7 minus 4m minus 4h after we distribute, minus now m plus h times m plus h, we'd get what? M squared plus 2mh plus h squared. You'd end up having mh plus mh. That would simplify to 2mh. Those are like terms. So this is that. Let's erase this here. And then let's simplify, distribute that negative inside the bracket, negative m squared minus 2mh minus h squared. So let's simplify some like terms. Actually, there's no like terms to simplify. Yeah, right? There's no other m by itself, there's no other h by itself, no other m squared, no other mh, no other h squared. So this actually ends up being the final answer. You could rearrange it if you want, maybe put these higher exponents in the front, but I'm just going to keep it like this. So no like terms, so this ends up being the final answer for f of m plus h.